Is the Philadelphia Eagles' championship window already slamming shut before the season even officially kicks off? While everyone is busy praising their off-season moves, there's a dark reality unfolding on the practice field that could turn this entire year into a total disaster. We're looking at a team that appears to be falling apart from the inside out, and if they don't fix these massive, gaping holes right now, we might be watching the most expensive collapse in NFL history. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The grass at the training complex is still the same shade of green, and the helmets are still gleaming under the sun, but something feels completely off. The energy is different. You can feel the tension in the air. This isn't just another routine start to organized team activities. This is a franchise under fire. We're talking about a team that arrived with empty spots on the roster, a brand new offensive coordinator who hasn't proven he can call plays when the pressure is at its peak, and a laundry list of massive, terrifying question marks surrounding every single snap. We've identified 8 specific, dangerous problems that are currently hanging over this squad. If these aren't resolved in the next 2 months, this team isn't just missing out on the Super Bowl. They're looking at an early trip home before the playoffs even begin. Let's start with the most confusing piece of the puzzle: Saquon Barkley. Look, nobody is denying his talent, but there is a massive issue here that nobody wants to talk about. The coaching staff is clearly planning to lean on him heavily, but what happens when the workload becomes too much? We've seen this movie before. Teams try to fix an entire broken offense by overworking their star running back, and it almost always ends in a season-ending injury or a complete burnout by December. Are they really expecting Barkley to carry the entire weight of this transition period on his back? If the passing game isn't clicking because of the new system, they're going to ride him into the ground. That is a recipe for heartbreak. It's a desperate move for a team that claims to be a contender. Moving on to the secondary, and frankly, this is an absolute disaster waiting to happen. The safety position has been a revolving door, and the current plan to stick Marcus Epps or a similar rotation out there is looking like a structural failure. You can talk all you want about a strong pass rush masking coverage issues, but let's be real, you can't fix a broken foundation by simply painting the walls. When you're going up against elite quarterbacks in this league, a weak safety unit gets exposed instantly. It doesn't matter how fast your defensive line is if the back end of your defense is giving up huge plays every single series. It's a glaring vulnerability that other teams are definitely studying right now. Now, let's look at the math of this team. They're sitting on draft capital and limited cap space, which means they are in a high-stakes race against the calendar. They have until the summer break to figure out who is actually going to be on this roster and who is just taking up space. Every single day that goes by without a clear identity is another day they are falling behind the rest of the league. Who is truly to blame if this team fails to find its rhythm early? Is it the front office for the roster construction, or the coaches for not setting the tone? Drop a name in the comments. I want to see who you think is holding this team back. Then there is the elephant in the room, the new offensive coordinator. This is where things get truly scary. This team is handing the keys to their offense to someone who has practically zero experience calling plays at this level. You're talking about an offense that needs to be efficient, explosive, and consistent, and they're trusting it to a guy who was literally an active player just a couple of years ago. This isn't an experiment. It's a gamble with a championship-caliber roster. If Jalen Hurts starts looking uncomfortable or indecisive, all eyes are going to be on that headset. If the play calling is predictable or too complex, this whole thing could implode before the first quarter of the season is even over. We have to talk about the offensive line because the stats here are honestly shocking. If you look at the win-loss record with and without Lane Johnson, it's not just a difference. It's a completely different team. We're talking about night and day. Johnson is a legend, but he is getting older, and expecting him to be a brick wall for an entire 17-game season is a massive ask. If he misses time, the entire offense might just evaporate. They don't have a solid backup plan that we know of, and that is terrifying for anyone who wants to see Jalen Hurts stay upright. Without that protection, this offense is paper thin. People keep talking about the salary cap like it's just a boring administrative detail, but in reality, it's a ticking time bomb. With a massive dead cap hit hovering over the team, the front office is essentially paralyzed. They can't make the moves they need to make because they're tied up in contracts that were signed during their peak. This is what happens when you go all in on a roster. You win, but then the bill comes due. Now, they're trying to navigate these financial restrictions while simultaneously trying to upgrade their weakest positions. It's a delicate, dangerous balancing act, and one wrong move could sink their financial future for the next few years. And finally, we get to the biggest, loudest, and most uncomfortable question of all, the A.J. Brown cloud hanging over the entire organization. When your star player isn't at the voluntary sessions, it's never just about resting. It's a statement. The rumors are flying, the trade talk is reaching a fever pitch, and the front office is being forced to navigate a situation that threatens to tear the locker room apart. Everyone is watching the calendar, waiting for that June date when the financial hit becomes more manageable. If he stays, the chemistry is going to be tested. If he goes, the entire identity of this offense changes overnight. Right now, the team looks like a collection of talented individuals who aren't quite sure where they fit. Are they a group of hungry underdogs, or are they a team that's already peaking and on the way down? The version of the team that hits the field in September is going to be completely different from what we're seeing right now. But the question is, will they be better or will they be broken? We're going to be tracking every single update, every whisper from the facility, and every roster move as it happens. Make sure you're staying locked in because this situation is moving fast and things are about to get very interesting. We're going to see exactly who steps up when the lights are brightest and who fades away under the pressure. Keep your eyes on those remaining OTA sessions. The answers are coming, whether the team is ready for them